and its merits across the country, and especially in London. Her aim is to encourage young BME children that with education all things are possible, and the NSF UK embodies this vision, connecting Nigerians, raising awareness and developing the community. As a Nigerian myself, I'm aware of the obstacles that Nigerians face in education in Nigeria and here in the UK. It's never been easy, and as the previous speaker said, it's something that Nigerian parents haven't quite grasped how to push their children in the right way, because my mum told me, be a doctor. And I'm scared of every single body fluid you can make it. But Diane would like to congratulate all the members and the team for all their success in their fundraising projects this year, which has allowed for the building of libraries, ICT suites, and fundraising and funding scholarships. It's truly remarkable the work you do, and I'm proud to be a Nigerian tonight. Diane would like to thank everybody for coming along this evening and thank the NSF UK for the honour. And she sends her best wishes and looks forward to working with you all in the future. Thank you very much.
So I think, Ayo, what you were supposed to do was just to give this the very short speech, but she did. I wasn't picking up. Well, we've co-opted her into doing something else in addition to that, which is to help to give the awards. Okay, so we have 3 awards that we will be giving out
slightly
now.
So I can wear
Do we have the plaques around?
Okay, can I wear it?
Thank you.
Or down to any one of them.
There, sir.
Okay, so
It's not
if I'm correct, the first award is the Best Corporate Award. Is that correct?
Can you hold it?
Best Corporate Award.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for your continued support and contributions, we could not have done it without you. NSF UK 5th year anniversary celebration, 4th November 2016. Best Corporate Award goes to
Obaseki and Co.
Obaseki and Co. So, do we have them here?
Yes.
Okay, so
That's it, thank you.
very close.
Well, you never give a lawyer a few words. But I'm very, very grateful for this. But right from the onset, I've supported this organisation for 2 very good reasons. I loved my schooling in Nigeria from GCI, Government Primary School. And quite frankly, I was so inspired by the vision. If you grasp the vision, you realise that you have no choice but to be involved. It is our legacy, it's our responsibility. So I would implore all of you to please encourage your old schools, if they're not part of the network, to join. And also to embrace the idea, and please contribute what you can, your ideas, your time, your money. Yes. Okay, so it's all going to good cause. And as you can see, the long-term vision is to build a better Nigeria for all, for our children and their children. So thank you very much. I am very much honored.
Okay, the second award is the Best Individual Award. Your generosity is humbling and inspiring, it says. Thank you for all you have done. NSF UK 5th anniversary celebration Best Individual Award goes to
Mr. Daniel Okonkwo.
Mr. Daniel Okonkwo. He obviously was very surprised.
Speech.
Take the pictures.
It's very rare that I'm lost for words. And humbled, surprised. And I'll confess something at the moment. We're not even streaming. I'm recording, but I'm not streaming. I'm ashamed. I don't even deserve it. Thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I just had to butt in here because we just can't let Daniel just escape like that. You need to know the impact that this man has made on our organization. Fantastic man. He went to one of the best schools in Nigeria, St. Gregory's College. And he has single-handedly paid for his school ever since day one. He tried to rally his troops. He didn't get any response. But he believed in our vision. And he ran with the vision. He keeps with the vision. He runs all our IT services free of charge. He gets all, well, the list goes on and on.
Thank you very much for that. God bless you. That is truly what real men are made of. It's about humility and service at the end of the day. He was very surprised, wasn't he? Did anyone record that? No. Good Lord.
Should we retake it?
He's having a good one to show his children.
They're here actually. They're here, yeah.
Excellent.
Can you see your concourse, please? Can your concourse be recognized?
Are they outside somewhere?
Yeah.
Joy?
Joy, yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Come on.
Now, this truly inspires me. Not only has the man come, he's come with his wife and the children, and he pays his school's subscription. Now, what I would say. Let us give them a round of applause, please. A round of applause. Thank you.
Next to your husband, I think.
Okay, thank you so much. I think the reason why I think they're special is that the only way that you know if someone is committed to a cause is what they bring to that cause. A lot of us, I dare say as Nigerians, have this sort of substance around what's in it for me. If there's nothing in it for you, actually you don't care. You know, and I think if we were to take the Okonkwo's example tonight, I think they deserve another round of applause. I really do. Well done. So, the third award for tonight is the Best Alumni Award. For your continued support and representation, it says, an epitome of what support truly means. Thank you all. And that goes to
Roga UK.
Roga UK. Can I have all the membership on the floor, please? Now, for those who don't know what Roga means, it means Reagan's Old Girls Association. Is that correct? Okay. So it's Roga UK. A round of applause for them. Even if you are not a member before and you want to join, you can join them. Is that allowed?
Men are allowed. For one night only.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you very much. Who's going to give the speech on behalf of Roga UK? The president. Okay, president, please. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is actually a great honor, and we are surprised. We didn't expect this at all. But in the interest of relationships, building relationships and maintaining it, we at Roga UK, we believe that we need to support one another, and united we stand, divided we fall. So we believe in that legacy, and that's what we're trying to pass on, and that's what we're trying to actually maintain. And thank you very much for recognizing what we're trying to do, and I hope everybody will join us and continue the legacy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roga UK. So we go on to the next part of the evening. Do we have Mr. Tommy Ilube here?
No, it's not here yet. He's on his way, yeah.
Okay, all right. So on your programs, you'll find that there is NSF UK members project presentations. They're supposed to be in two parts. So what we're going to do is going to take the two presentations together. So if we have those schools who are meant to present here, do we have them ready? Yeah? Okay. And your slides are ready and all that? Or how are you going to do it?
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay. Whilst they're getting ready, let me just, you know, one of the really interesting thing about this evening is it's proving something. It's proving that the dynamics amongst the Nigerians in the diaspora can, if we truly pull together the synergy, there's so much that we can do back home. Everybody talks about failing education, failing this, failing that. But you know, I read somewhere a while ago that the purpose of education is actually not knowledge, it is to take action. So when you learn something, it's about taking action based on what you've learned. And the truth about what we are doing tonight and what I've seen demonstrated by one or two or three people here is that not only have they learned something either back home or here, they are giving of themselves, either in terms of money or time, to actually take an action back home. I think actually that is laudable. So these presentations will show us some of the things that the schools here or the network here in the UK have been doing with their schools in Nigeria. So please, if you feel like it, you can clap for them. Yeah. If you don't feel like it, you can clap for them as well. So either way, just clap for them. Are we ready? Okay, so let's clap for them, please. Can I give you a mic? There's a...
there's three of us.
Okay.
Do you want to go and join?
You can use this mic.
I hope I don't touch the ceiling. Okay, good evening everyone. There are three of us actually here because we're told that we've got 3 minutes. My name is Ronke Odofi and I represent a school called Lagos African Church Grammar School, otherwise known as La First of the Association. That's us. Our presentation is in 3 parts, and please give me the allowance to introduce my colleagues here.
So we've got my president. Let me step down because I'm not the president. Let the president talk. See, the president.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Duro Lawal, President of Lafrosa UK. I just want to give a brief history of the school, and I'm going to allow my other colleagues to make a very short statement as well. The school was founded in 1969 in the suburb, leafy suburb of Lagos State. Lafrosa, which stands for the Lagos African Church Old Students Association, came about 13 years ago when it was one of my visits to Lagos. I went to the institution, and what I saw on that particular day was I was so saddened, and I shed a lot of tears at the state, how state government neglected those institutions. And I felt in need that something has to be done. I took some pictures there, brought it back to UK here, called some friends together, and believe me, showing those pictures, those images to my colleagues. The first event was in my house this particular day, and showing those images to my colleagues, about 7 or 8 of us, I was able to persuade them, and we raised £10,000. With that, it gave me a big passion to say that a lot can be achieved by individuals and every single one of us. And I'll say again, not the university, any one of us went today that made us what we are today, but the secondary school education. So I'm going to allow my colleague here to say one or more things. Thank you.
My name is Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kule Kusheju. I'm going to talk about the projects that we as Lafrosa backed on since we came into being. We've done several things at the school in 3 phases. Like the previous speaker said, the school was returned to the missionaries in dilapidated condition. So we started our work at the school first with renovation to bring the school back to the standard it was when we were students there. So we started with the renovation of classroom blocks. We painted the classroom blocks, replaced all the broken windows, and we put in some classroom furniture and all those kind of things, fans and all that in classrooms. Then we also donated books for the school library as phase 1 of our projects in the school. Then at the second stage, we started addressing infrastructural deficits in the school, because when the school was taken over by the government, some of our buildings were taken over as well and turned into other schools. They made them into other schools. So, for example, our girls hostel was taken over, our laboratory was taken over, our school hall was taken over. So when they returned the school, they didn't return those buildings to us. So we had to start thinking of ways to provide those infrastructure for the school. So we started with a borehole to give the school water for hygiene reasons. We provided IT suites to bring the school up to modern standards. We also provided a modern science block for laboratory as well, because our previous laboratory was taken over. And then we provided a 30 kVA generator to power all these things. And then we then did a multi-purpose hall donated by one of us for the school in replacement of the whole hall that was taken. So now we are in the third phase of our development, and we are now focusing on motivation. How do we motivate the students and the teachers? So recently we gave tablets to each of the teachers that have served at least 5 years in the school to encourage them to go, and we're now also giving awards to exceptional students in the school. And our current project, the one we're currently doing, is to modernize the staff room. Thank you.
Just to round this up, the bottom line is this. Lagos African Church Grammar School Old Student Association is an association for us and for the students. It reinforces the notion of working together. We are looking after our young people, we're also looking after ourselves. We are reinforcing the values that we had, and we're reinforcing those values with us as well. So even though our association may be small, it's worldwide, it's effective, and it's sustainable. Thank you.
Might have worked in marketing before. That was very effective. Thank you very much. A round of applause for them, please. We have the second school. Roga. Okay. Now, is there a reason why the applause seems to be louder? Just because you said Roga? Yeah? Okay. You're gonna use this.
We're going to do it slightly different. My name is Tokumboderi. I'm the Vice President for Regan Memorial Baptist Girls Secondary School. You hear Ruga UK. It's basically a Regan Old Girls Association. We have pockets of us. Basically, we all came together as an association in 2008, and the pictures will speak for everything. We got our pictures there, so I'm telling you a little bit of what we've done. We come together and we try and deliver different projects every year. So since the time we came together as a unit, we've done various things. I will sort of call your attention. If you've got the books, you can turn to page 28 of the program. And I'll just briefly talk you through some of the things that we've done so far.
Tabs.
Starting off, because we like to give back to a school, we're passionate as old girls. In 2009, we donated 30 computers, printers, and a projector in 2009 to our dear school, because we're very passionate. We pick our projects by liaising with the school, liaising with the Baptist Mission, and we sort of decide collectively on what project to do. So the first one we delivered was in 2009, as you can see. Then followed by that, in 2010, we provided a scholarship to some less fortunate students because there was a need at the time, and that was delivered as well. Again, liaising with the Baptist Mission and the school principal. In between that, I might add, we also do small donations to the school by providing scholarships. We also give back to the school little bits of things in addition to the project that we choose to do. Now, in 2011, we had one of our ex-students that was involved in a gas explosion. And obviously this was brought to attention by the school principal. They needed to pay hospital bills and all that. They reached out again to Ruga UK, and we delivered on that as well by providing finances, paying hospital bills to this particular ex-student, and she was ever so grateful. Then we had the Silver Jubilee 2012, and obviously we got together as an association and we decided what can we do to give back to the school. We had a bus shelter which was really in dire need for repairs, and what we decided again was to give back and renovate the bus shelter. And you can see the before and after picture in the brochure. And you can see me there, I'm right in the middle of the students. It's quite good. Then going on, we had problems with the toilets. We have 8 different toilets. Obviously, we have the toilets. It was really, really terrible, not fit for purpose. It was brought to our attention. I mean, most of us students, we go back and we visit the school, so we look at things that needs to be done. We come back, and most of you that have been to our presentation, you're aware that we always deliver. So we sort of pick a project and we look at what we need to do to give back to the school.
You see my text?
Now, 2013.
Yeah, how I fit tighten this thing. Look at this thing.
We delivered on that project in 2013. Can you all see the thing?
No, just the...
Every year we pick a project, we deliberate on the project, and we deliver.
There's a screw where the camera did.
Now, one of the biggest projects that we did
where I go secure the camera.
2014.
This screw, how do I tighten it?
As you can see, the gate of excellence, because we're exceptional ex-students, and we decided that we have to aim higher. So we always aim higher. So
and then put it on and then push it back.
Now, in 2014, one of my trips, looking at the picture at the bottom left, that's what the teaching looks like, was totally in dining for our intervention, as in Ruga UK. And
I don't see him, I don't see
all the exterior.
I don't get him. Okay, thanks.
I'm not sure, some of you came to our gala night way back in 2000, I think it was 2013, 2014. It was showcased through a presentation, and we did say that we're going to sort of do something about it. Again, we delivered in 2014, costing us 2.8 million to actually deliver that. So you got the before and after pictures. There's quite a few projects that we do, but we're limited to showcase quite a few numbers. So now, we're hoping, we've got a gala night next week Saturday. I'm hoping everybody will be there. We're hoping to actually, our next project, to actually re-roof an entire block of classrooms for the senior block. Because when it rains, the classroom becomes very conducive to learning for our students. So we're going to embark on that, and we need your support for you to come out and support us, because we always deliver. When we say we want to deliver, do something, we go for it and we deliver. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ruga. Another round of applause for them. It's always humbling when you see the sacrifices that people make. But sometimes, when it's like when you have a very large basket, and you're asked to just put water in it, bit by bit. So even most of what we're doing here, as awesome as it is, I think it has to be sustainable. It has to be something that, whether it's Ruga, whether it's the other school, that process. Thank you very much. The marketing lady for that process. It has to, and I had a quick chat with her while Ruga was talking, and she mentioned the word sustainability. That's what just reminded me. I think that's very key. Whatever we do, we must must make sure that it's sustainable. It's not about doing the school's projects, it's about creating the system that makes the school what it will be in the next 25 years. So thank you to everybody. Okay, so we go on to the next school. Which school is that?
Government College School.
Okay, all right. This is Government College Ikorodu. Now, I am biased here because I didn't attend school. But I have my senior brother attended, BC Yaniwura. And then he went to Ife after that. So obviously, the two best schools in Nigeria. So, and then I have friends who went to BCI and, you know, friends are here. So let me say, the school that's taken over from Roga. Give them a round of applause.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Remy Kayode, and I am currently the team leader, no, the project chairperson for our school. Just a quick history. Our school is a very young school. We're only 42 years old. Started in 1974 with another set of 4 government colleges. The Nigerian chapter of the All Students Association started formally some 10-15 years ago, and they were the ones who were actually involved with the first project that was done. In actual fact, that was, someone mentioned earlier about getting involved as an individual. And this project, which was the restoration of our school clinic, started off by a concerned old school pupil who happened to have done his youth service in the school as well. At that time, the school clinic was a rundown, so they decided to take it on, and he actually started that project before the association joined him, and they have restored that. They put back the sick bay and the beds, and everything was put in place. As an association here in the UK, we did not start until 2010, and formally the first time we had a fundraising was in 2011. We were able to raise some money which was enough to do what we've called the water distribution project. The reason for that was because as at that time we had boreholes in the school, but it was difficult for students in the hostel to get to the boreholes in the morning to get their water. So we decided we will do a water distribution. We provided the tanks. Yeah, you can see. That's not the one, sorry. Okay, thank you. We provided the tanks, and we also restored the bathrooms and the toilets in both the girls and the boys' dormitories. So that was what we did in 20. We finished that in 2013. Moving on from that, we have been able to also do our dining hall. That's the project we chose for this year. We started in June 2016. We did everything from restoring or replacing the missing roofs, missing ceiling, putting back the fans, doing the rewiring, missing louvers, fixing new doors. We have actually also provided new set of furniture. The reason why we decided to do the dining hall this year is so that it will serve 2 purposes. One, for our students to be able to find a suitable place to have their meals, because before now they were standing, they get their meal and they had to stand outside to be fed. So we decided that we will renovate the hall. One was so that they will find a suitable place to sit and comfortably have their meal. And secondly, so that it could also serve as a reading area for them. So like I said, we've been able to provide the furniture, we've been able to restore the broken glasses, the ceilings, everything that you can think of. And now, as I speak to you, as of 2 weeks ago, we've managed to do the painting as well. So it's now ready for them to use. Having said all of that, one thing stands out clear, that we wouldn't have been able to do this on our own as a project team or as an association or the executives of the association without the support of people like you that are in here. So I want to thank you all for your contribution financially, and I want to thank every school that is represented on NSF. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the last school, sorry, the last school?
There are two actually.
There are two more schools.
Akausa. No, it's not the last.
We saved the best for the second to the last.
I do have to hold it.
I think I'm not understanding this was going to be the last presentation. If it's not, I'll go and come back. Because those who know us, we do our things to be the best school. So my presentation, I'll tend to split into two parts. At the end of the room, we normally do our things in terms of we sing, we sign, we stand. I wasn't quite sure whether the other schools were a bit shy because we compete properly. One of the things we do very well is that we are very proud from Akausa. And Akausa stands for Awaru Islam. Nothing to be afraid of. I think it's actually important because I've said this before. It might surprise you. My name is actually Charles Obajoy. I'm a Christian. I went to Muslim school, so you feel safe. So, one of the things you need to be scared of is those who knew us in Lagos. You need to be scared. Yes, you know exactly what to do to you guys. I'm not serious. I was given 3 minutes, and I think if you cannot spend 3 minutes to find your rooftop to celebrate your success, there's something wrong. What I intend to do will take more than 3 minutes. It's actually important because on page 25, a lot of things that we've done is on page 25. And to be honest with you, am I proud of that? Absolutely not. Because as far as I'm concerned, providing computer to my former school, providing books to my former school, I regard them as a negative function of the association. We need to do better than that. On the back of watching your co-coach family today, a lot of things that came to my mind is, and I've asked myself this question in terms of my own association, as the leader of the association. What I've asked myself is, what is our sense of purpose? Is it, in my view, to add value to the school? It has to be more than providing a computer. It's got to a stage whereby we need to have a sense of urgency, a real sense of urgency in terms of to make a real difference. Because when Akausa was formed, and again, this is a fact, Akausa has been around since 1991. I believe it's the longest Nigerian alumni association in the UK. I think that deserves a round of applause. And we actually celebrated our 25th anniversary this year. So it's been the longest one. So the rest can follow us, as you always do in Lagos as well. But on a more serious note, I don't know if you can see the presentation. My school motto is the best or nothing. So it might tell you your age. You can see the picture of Tina Turner there. It's simply the best. Absolutely, it's simply the best. And I said earlier on, all the things you've had tonight, we've done that many years ago. I'm genuinely serious. For the past 4 years, I've been the president. I've been asking myself, I don't want my legacy to be about the father giving books to my school. It has to be more than that. So we're looking for something different, something more unique going forward. And the first thing is, again, you know about the famous twins there. Yep. Tyra and Tamara. Yep. Yes. My school has established a twinning arrangement with St. Olave's Grammar School. St. Olave's in the UK is one of the best grammar schools in this country. I am not aware of any other school who has done that. So follow us, and I think it's the best thing. Seriously, that project was challenging. It can be quite difficult to try and establish a twinning school between a Christian school and a Muslim school. But myself and my colleague who is here today, Steve, he called himself Steve. I call him Bayo. He called himself British. I think it's Nigerian. But we kept going and we established that, and I think that's been a tremendous success. So that's one thing. The other thing we've done is the fact that, like most schools, I think if you're not careful, the alumni association will just naturally collapse. Because if you look at the age profile of the alumni association, it's absolutely getting difficult. So therefore, we're trying to bring people in. So As Prince Charles, Emi Omo Yashali, my name is Charles. So we've been inviting people to join our association. We're inviting other people outside of our Akausa to become members of our association, honorary membership. And they're here today, and a very good sister, friend of mine, Dr. Nike, who is the Director of Public Health, West Sussex County Council, is one of our alumni association. Professor Adeleko, who is a consultant psychiatrist at Blackburn. I understand he was your senior in school, Bimbo. He asked me to punish you tonight. So. And Councillor Harold Ogufemi of Medway Council, the only black councillor at Medway Council. Those are just examples of trying to get other people into Akausa. So please, if any of you here today, we welcome people of any shape or format, height or whatever. If you can add value to Akausa, please come and join us. And finally, our current legacy project is the health clinic we're trying to build for our school. It's quite fantastic. That came on the back of the Ebola in Nigeria. We decided we need to establish a proper clinic, not just a sick bay, proper clinic in Nigeria. And I believe that project is coming to an end. But going forward, the two other challenges we're trying to do, like I said earlier on, we're trying to do something different. One is the continuous professional development of teachers in Akausa. When I went back to school some years ago and I look at the quality of the teachers in my school, I was ashamed of myself. We need to improve the quality. It's absolutely important. And the other thing we're trying to do is, they say charity begins from home. We're trying to provide coaching and mentoring support for the children of our Akausa members. So on that note, can I call on my Akausa colleagues here? We've got 5 of us here today, as we normally do. Can you join me, please? Bayo, please join me. Steve, yes. Steve.
Just for the record, I'm British.
I'm British. Oriwo?
Yeah.
Oriwo?
Yeah.
Whoa. 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 Praise be to Allah, the only, the creator and the fashioner. Praise be to Allah, the only, the creator and the fashioner. Is a happy day today. For my dear students, oh students of the age, to know what is meant by let's kick the ball has been taught every day, and so we are here again to show us our. Thank you very much.
If you agree with me that they have tried, please give them another round of applause. It's obviously a very good school. But there's one thing that I think that they're doing differently, which is worth sort of reiterating. Do you know, most of the projects that we've heard tonight are very laudable, but they are infrastructure projects. They're most to do with the structures and all of that. I dare say there's a challenge, there's a need to fix the inside of the students as well. Fix the inside of the structure. So, and you know, the thing that our money can do is that when you take your money, they listen to you. When you say you want to do a project, they listen to you because they know that you brought the money. So as we build the canteens and we build the halls and whatever, let us challenge them. There was a time when they used to teach civics in schools. Because when you don't build the character, it doesn't matter how much money you spend on infrastructure, it will get destroyed at some point. So I think, you know, if you all agree with me, I think maybe NSF was looking at for the way forward. I think it might be suggestions to most of the other schools to say, actually, as you build, you know, maybe there's some sort of supporting structure like Charles's school is doing there, which is around either twinning schools or actually doing some sort of developmental There's a project I do in Nigeria which is about building soft skills. Teach them how to present, teach them how to stand up and be bold and sell themselves. I think those go a long way to developing the minds of young people. So let's give Charles, what was the name of your school again? Oh, please. Wait now. Charles. Sorry, no, I know Charles a long, sorry, we come back a long way, so it's not just, I'm just sort of poking fun at him. Let's give him a round of applause again, please. Let's try, especially that song. Now, the last school, I don't know if they're still very, very popular, but they used to be very popular in Lagos. Well, I mean, Reagan, of course, also. Lagos Anglican Girls Grammar School. I don't know why they were popular, but they used to be very, very popular in Lagos. So let us give them a round of applause as they come to the stage. Yes. You can use this actually. If you don't want to climb, you can do this. Let me put it up. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I want to say a big thank you to the NSF committee for bringing every one of us together after so many decades. They've done a fantastic job. We represent Lagos Anglican Girls Grammar School, which is LAGS. We're called Laxoga UK in the UK. Myself, I am Lola Wushika, the Vice President, and I have my colleague here, Pastor Enitonjo, who is our secretary, who will be going through what we have done. Our school is 61 years old, so we're very young. But we decided to revamp the association in 2013 because we realized the school had actually given birth to a lot of women of substance, and quite a number of us were in the UK. So we thought of thinking, what could we do to give back to the school? So we did an assessment of what was necessary and needed at the school, including the toilets, the lab, so the computer room. So what we chose to do the library because we thought that was the foundation for everyone's education, which is studying and reading books. So I'm going to pass it over to Eniton, who will tell you about our aims, our goals, and what we've achieved so far.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a nice evening so far, and I really, really do commend the last school, Akosa. It's quite impressive, and they're going the extra mile to get honorary members. I think it's something we all need to adopt, and kudos to Ruga as well. They're always supportive. You see them everywhere. You can always count on them, and also the other schools as well. I believe we're all doing well. Our aim is to give back to our alma mater, which we all owe. Having had a solid foundation that has led us to being women of substance today. And our goal is to encourage and unleash the potential for excellence in each of the girls currently passing through the school. We have put all hands to the plow to help return our school back to its former glory and maintain the standard. We all know that the schools were taken over by the government, and thankfully it's been handed back to the church now, back to the missionaries now, and there is a lot of work to be done. I know somebody mentioned it as well in their presentation, that when the school was handed back, it was handed back in shambles. When we were there, we had the opportunity of having the science lab, which was a 5-story building, very impressive, state-of-the-art, work, and all the science equipment, everything was intact. When I actually went to the school for the first assessment, I was nearly in tears when I saw the remains of the science block. So we all know there's a lot of work to be done. But by the grace of God, we've started, and I believe that we've started strong. In 2 years, we've been able to raise over £10,000, and we've been able to restore our library, renovate and redecorate. And it's now, and actually it was handed over officially yesterday to the school by the president, who is currently in Nigeria. So if we can have the slides of the pictures of the before and after, please. Before and after of the library. Thank you. So when we first walked, that was what the library looked like. Very dim, no lighting, the louvers broken, glass broken, dark and dingy, and the ceiling was leaking, everything was really bad. But we've been able to have, some work done on it. If we can have the next slide, please. And this is what it looks like now. The girls are quite happy. We really want to thank everybody that supported us to be able to achieve this goal. We had 2 fundraising events which has enabled us to be able to get to this point. And now we're looking towards supporting and sponsoring talented students in the school. So that's the next project we want to, embark on now. So thank you very much.
Can I just quickly recognize members of our school that are here? We have obviously your Honorable Bumi Adekoya, who is the secretary to NSF. She's part of Lagos Anglican Girls Grammar School.
Round of applause for her.
Okay, yes, can you welcome her, please? We also have Mr. Yusuf, who's also one of the charity organizers that were at the NSF fundraising sports day as well, right? We welcome her over here, please. And then we also have Toyo Dumosu, who is here as well, with her beautiful daughter. Come forward, Mr. Antonio. Okay, these are the members of Lagos Anglican Girls Grammar School. But above all, I want to say thank you so much for every single one of you who've attended our events or donated or supported us over the years. Without you, we wouldn't have been able to do the library. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you very much. Lagos Anglican Girls Grammar School. It's somewhere around Surulere, isn't that correct? Yes. As if I didn't know. As if I didn't know. Yes. So thank you very much to everyone who's presented. I believe that was the last school, yeah, Wale? That was the last school. Okay. So I think if you would all join me in saying a big thank you. Giving your time is one thing. Supporting it with your money is another thing. And the English I learned was, you put your money where your mouth is. So where you see people who have not only given their time, but also given their money for projects like this, I think they deserve a round of applause. So please, let's say thank you to them. I couldn't get Mr. Okonkwo out of my mind and his family. On a Friday evening, to come out yourself is tough. To convince your wife to come with you is and then to get your wife to commit to making sure your 3 children come with them. 4 children come with her in their school uniform. They haven't been home. I mean, please, let us give them another round of applause. It is awesome. It really is awesome. So thank you very much for your level of love. So okay, I think what they said is we'll get some food here. Is that painful? No. That's normally the sort of sound people make when things are painful. Oh, is it? Oh, it's joyous. Okay, that's fine. So we have our guest speaker here tonight, Mr. Tom Ilube. But what we thought we'd do is, because it's been quite heavy in the last couple of hours, is to give people the opportunity to sort of have something to eat. Is that correct? Is that how you feel? Have something to eat, relax a bit, we'll have the speech, and then we'll have the question and answer, and then we'll open up the evening to marrying and
awards, second award.
We have the second award, but also I think there was a question that Wale raised earlier on, which is about for the NSF, what next? I think if we do have a bit of time, forget about the wine I just spilled. Not that I drew attention to it anymore, but forget about it. So if you have a bit more time, we'll be asking the NSF will be asking for your ideas as to what direction for the NSF should be. So if we can have the food in now and a bit of music as well. Thank you very much, everyone.
Food. Everybody.
How now do you need to read that? They will even do something very soon. Okay, is it Michael Williams? Isn't Vicky Williams? All right. Okay.
So they started something. I said that now. So at least, I think they pay you all your 5 years ago.
No, I'm not going to ask for was a key member before. Teachers to
don't you have to go and have this, Very good, very good. Very nice. Okay, yeah. I went because I
Thank you.
I am bringing it on. No, you know. I went to the section. I didn't bring it. I will put that
It's good. Don't turn around right here.
That's academic. I went to Reagan 5 years. That's academic too. Oh, to put on the... Okay, to put on
5 more minutes. We've got 5 more minutes, please, and then we'll come round so we can listen to Mr. Ilube's speech tonight. I can only see one person dancing, and she's dancing really, really nicely. What does OGMG stand for? Methodist Girls Art School. All girls. OGMG. We don't want for anything, I just wondered what it meant. I would have thought it would be MGOG. Yes. Why thank you. Okay, please, we need to start getting back onto our seats. We get 5 minutes, please. Okay. I've been asked to tell you that the program is being streamed, so behave yourself. That's what I'm about to tell you. So it's being streamed. We have a minute, please. In a minute, we are going to start the program again. 1 more minute for the photographs, please. 1 more minute for the photographs. Okay, we can have the music down, please. Thank you.
UK and Ireland. HS. Muslim and standard.
We have 30 seconds left, please.
When you're ready.
So your final photographs. I've been told that the program is now being streamed, so as you're taking the photographs, whatever needs to be sucked in so that people... I'm not being horrible, I'm just being, I'm just saying that we all look nice, that's what I'm saying. Okay, right, thank you everyone. Let us get started again. Let's get started again. So thank you very much. I do hope everyone's had something to eat. So let's try and bring some order to the program, please. Please, can we round up on the photographs, please? We need to round up the photographs. We need to get started again. Thank you, everyone. Okay, whilst the rest of the photographs are being taken, I think it might be a good idea to mention. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Okay, so we only had 5 schools that came out to present their projects. I'm sure that many more schools wanted to have the opportunity to do that, perhaps because of time. Maybe they didn't get in on time. But I think it might be very useful, especially knowing what the NSF is all about. I'm going to take some time to just mention, so that you don't leave here saying that you were not recognized. Okay? So I'm going to take a very short time to mention the names of NSF UK members. Okay? Would that do?
Yeah.
Abeokuta Grammar School, Abeokuta. Anwaru Islam College, Lagos. That was Charles' school, Abi? Yes. I still remember. Baptist Academy, Lagos. Birch Freeman High School. Christ School, Ado-Ekiti. CMS Grammar School, Lagos. Comprehensive High School, Ayetoro. Echo Boys High School, Lagos. I thought they were going to say Indomie or something. Federal Government College, Wali, Abuja. Federal Government College, Sokoto. Federal Government Girls College, Bida. Government College, Ibadan. Government College, Ikorodu. Government College, K2. Government College, Lagos. Holy Child College, Lagos.
Yeah!
At least there was one person that said. Okay, there were 3. Ilube College, Yaba. More than 3. Lagos African Church Grammar School, Lagos. Lagos Anglican Girls Grammar School, Lagos. London Nigerian Cricket Club. So which school is that? Oh, it's a twin school. It is twin. Okay, all right. Sorry. Okay. All right. Cricket. Loyola College, Ibadan. Methodist Girls High School, Yaba. They haven't changed. Nigerian Military School, Zaria. OK Ono Grammar School, Abeokuta. Olivet Baptist High School, Oyo. Our Lady of Apostles, Yaba. How come it's the same people? Do not be known as the Yaba crowd. Okay, they are the suburbs. Don't be called the Yaba crowd, it's not good. Okay, the suburbs, okay, that's fair. Our Lady of Apostles, Yaba. Queen's College, Lagos. Pass on the touch. Very posh. They do run, don't they? Reagan Memorial Baptist Guest. Rush. Oh, it's Yaba as well.
Now there's the Yaba war. Is it Yaba or is it Sabo? It's Sabo Yaba. Russian colleges. Where was that? So where's Russian colleges? Yaba. Any unknown school is Yaba. St. Anne's School Ibadan. Ibadan Yaba. Those are miles apart. I mean, St. Finbar's College, Akoka. That's Yaba as well. St. Gregory's College, Lagos Yaba. Okay, because St. Gregory's College is Mr. Okonko's school, we have to give them a round of applause. He has earned it for his school. So, Abalinde. Alright, so those are the membership that I have. If any other school is here represented and I have not mentioned their names, I mentioned the co-boys now. Government College Agege, NSF, I've been told they're not yet members. Obviously they're interested. Yes. Okay. Any other schools? None. Okay. So thank you very much. I do hope I've mentioned every school that is represented here. So let us very quickly call on the next speaker, Mr. Tom Ilube. Now, just a bit of a background. Mr. Ilube is the founder and chairman of the African Gifted Foundation. I'm not going to say any more than that because his bio is actually written in the printing you have, whatever it's called. Program printing. You call it something else. So please join me as we give Mr. Ilube a round of applause as it comes up.
Influential black guy in the UK.
Thank you very much for inviting me. And thank you. It's a great honor to be speaking here this evening. It's a great honor to be speaking at the House of Commons. I have been here one or two times before. I learned something different this time because I had to come a little bit later, and I went to the entrance where we were supposed to come in, and it was closed. And the man said to me, I have to go all the way down to the other side. I said to him, oh, do you know which school I went to? I didn't go to one of these posh Lagos schools. I went to Edo College in Benin. I will fly this fence and you won't even see me. It's only because I was with my wife I decided to. If not, they did say last week the power lists decided that they were going to make me they said they announced that I was the most influential black person in the UK. My wife said, you are not even the most influential black person in this house. When I told my friends in Nigeria, they say, you, from Akuze, you are a winch. It's not possible. But, you know, this is the good thing about London. The great thing about London is that it has some of the best opportunities in the world. It's amazing what you can achieve here and what you can see here. And we're lucky to be here, and we shouldn't forget that. And I've been involved in education here for quite some time, and now I'm getting involved in education back in different parts of Africa again. One of the things you learn about education here in London, and I'm involved in the City of London, we do various things. One of the things you learn is that when people set up schools here, they build them to last. They build them with the mindset that that school is going to exist for the next 500 years. When a group of people came together and set up the Merchant Taylors School in 1561, they were no different to you or I, but they created a school that nearly 500 years later is still going strong, is still thriving. When John Colet set up St. Paul's School down in Barnes in 1509, we established the school. That school is still one of the great schools in the UK today. They have a way of creating schools with a mindset that says this school is going to be around in 500 years' time. And there's something that we can learn from that, because it doesn't just happen. You have to think about it, you have to plan for it, you have to put in place the structures, the governance that means that this school will exist for literally hundreds of years. And I've been involved in education here. I set up Hammersmith Academy down in Hammersmith, opened in 2011. It took me 7 years to take that school from a blank sheet of paper to its doors open. It now has about 800 students. It's doing really well. I'm chairman of Ada College, the National College for Digital Skills, that we opened just this year in Tottenham. And my pride and joy at the moment is the African Science Academy that I opened in Ghana just earlier this year with students from across Africa. And I'll say a bit more about that in a moment. But what I wanted to spend a few minutes on is thinking about how do we sustain and establish our schools in a way that they will exist in 500 years' time. We're not just pretending, but we actually mean it. We actually think our school is going to exist and thrive in 500 years' time. What can we learn from the city? Let me tell you a little bit about the African Science Academy that I established. It's a girls' school, an all-girls school in Ghana, but we take students from across Africa, from Nigeria, from Ghana, from Sierra Leone. We have students from Cameroon, from Ethiopia, from Uganda. They do A-levels. It's an A-level college. So we take students after they finish their senior secondary. They come to us. They study science and technology. It's a science and technology school. And then they go on to some of the great universities. 5 of them this year have applied to Oxford. That's the quality that we're getting through. And I want students from your schools. I want the girls' schools here to apply, for your girls to apply to my school. We give 100% scholarships. They don't pay anything. If we select them, they come to the school. That's what we're looking for. So if you have contacts at your schools, please let me know. I want to be able to tell your head teachers about it, and I want them to apply to the school, and we'll bring them in. Also, if any of you have young people, we have volunteers at the school, young people who've recently graduated who want to go and work in Ghana for 3 months, 6 months, work at the school. We bring them in, they live at the school, they work at the school with the girls, we pay them, and then they come back, and it's a great experience for them. So how did I go about setting up that school? It started by thinking about a really compelling vision of what I wanted to create. And when I think of things, I think 10 years out. I never think this is what I want to achieve in a year's time or 2 years' time. I think this is what I want to achieve in 10 years' time, at least, if not longer. You had a bit of a laugh at the London Nigerian Cricket Club. I happen to be chairman of the London Nigerian I noted the people that laughed. The London Nigerian Cricket Club, this year we celebrated our 25th anniversary. And you know, when we set up that club, right from the start, we said this club is going to be around in 50 years, in 100 years' time. So let's set it up with that mindset. It's not about what you do in 1 or 2 years' time. You think 25 years, you think 50 years, and you find yourself in a different mindset if you do that. So with the African Science Academy, from the start I thought, where do I want this school to be in 20 years' time? And that's where we started to build from. You have to have that sort of vision. You then have to think about teamwork. The absolute key thing in doing anything like that is teamwork. One of the things we suffer from a little bit in Nigeria is this individual hero who wants to do it himself. You know, it's all about me. I never do that. It's all about, let's get together a team that share this vision and we make it happen together. And that's something that we need to do here as well if we want to achieve that vision. So that's something about my journey at the African Science Academy. I'm interested in what your journey is. You know, where would you be if you could choose? And I know we're talking about schools today, and we're talking about our old schools, and I know some of you will say, well, if I could choose, I would go back to my first day at school. Remember your first day at school with your short knicker and your shiny shirt, and the seniors that look like giants. You look and you just see these giants walking around, and as you walk past them, but there's the fear and there's the excitement as you walk around your new school for the first day, and all of us remember it, the new school for the first day. But I would say don't stop there, move on. And I would move on to your last day at school. Then you're one of the giants. You are the kings and queens of the school. You strut around the school on your last day. You meet your favorite teacher, and instead of treating you like a student, they shake hands with you like an adult, and you think, yeah, this is me. You fly your collar. Nobody can do you anything. Guys, But I wouldn't stop there, Remember the day when you finally came to London, the whole London? Yeah? It was cold, but the possibilities were just amazing. What was open to you, that was exciting. What are we going to do here now that we're here? But I wouldn't stop there. Where I would come to is today. Here we are. We all went to these schools, and here we are at the House of Commons in London. And I would choose to be here, and I would choose to be here now with you, because we have a great possibility. We have the possibility to paint a bold vision for our schools, for where we want our school to be in 500 years' time. We paint that vision, and we have the possibility to come together and join hands as a team and take that vision and take it into the future and make it happen. And we have the possibility, because now is the time, to take that first step on a path to our long, proud future. So I appeal to you to be bold, to be leaders, and to take that one big step to march into the future, to create a cadre of Nigerian schools that will last for 500 years. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to do questions and answers. So I'm just sort of thinking, how do we do this? I've got a mic. It's very obvious that something is wrong somewhere with our schools. I mean, that's very obvious. If not, we wouldn't be here to start with. So we're here talking about the project that we're doing. But I think earlier on we talked about something about sustainability. I think if there was anything I took away from Mr. Ilube's presentation there, it is around sustainability. How do you build structures? It actually is the same thing with our political system. He mentioned the Nigerian disease, which is it's about me. You want to be this. Even the small associations that we run here, I'm sure people fight for offices and at some point I just stopped going to any Nigerian things. I just thought, but you can't stop. We can't stop. So I'm going to invite questions. Do you want to sit there, or how do you want to? Yeah, okay. So questions for Mr. Ilube.
Questions?
Good luck. Okay. So let us structure this in a way that allows the best use of his time. Let's cut the introductions and all that. Let's go straight. The school you represent is very important. So Roga and what you want to do and straight, and then you can. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm from Roga, UK. My question is, we all know that the main problem for Nigerians in whatever we do, be it business, schools, whatever, as you rightly said, is sustainability. Now, what can we do? What are those things that we need to put into place to be able to sustain and maintain whatever projects we do, so that we can last for us for 500 years.
So what I see in the City of London, in the City of London there are these entities called livery clubs. You know, if you wanted to be a goldsmith in the City of London, you had to join the Goldsmiths Company. If you wanted to be a silversmith, you joined the Silversmiths Company. And these are called livery clubs, and they have existed for 1,000 years, literally. You know, the older ones, the mercers, the guys that used to trade silk from the east and bring it into London. They've existed for literally 1,000 years. And I belong to one of those livery clubs, so I'm a freeman of the City of London. It gives you some really good benefits. For example, you can drive your sheep across London Bridge. And you know, I've actually driven a sheep, my own sheep. I've driven it across London Bridge. The traffic had to stop. The other good thing that it gives you, I know this is off point, but I'm going to come back. The other good thing that it gives you is that if I commit a crime and I'm to be hung, because I'm a freeman, they will hang me with silken cord.
That's impressive.
But what you learn from the livery companies and the way they operate is that the governance is the thing that makes them sustainable. The governance makes them sustainable. And one thing that they build into their governance is that whoever is the master of the livery company changes every year. Nobody ever has more than one term, and no term ever lasts more than a year. And you'll see it in the City of London as well. So this weekend and over the coming week, the new Lord Mayor of London is going to take over. And the Lord Mayor of London is the Lord Mayor of London for 1 year. And we're now on the 600 and something Lord Mayor of London. So because of that, because those guys and women are not in the role for long, and they know that they're not going to be in the role for long, then they don't really try and change the structure itself. They enjoy their time in the sunlight, they enjoy that period, they make what contribution they can, and then they try and leave it as smooth as possible for the next person to come in. And I think there's something about the way that we have to run our institutions that people going into them know that they're just caretakers for a short period. They're not becoming owners. And I think we need to see that shift in order to build in that sustainability. It's quite ironic in a way. These organizations that have existed for 1,000 years, literally 1,000 years, they exist for 1,000 years because their leadership is only in place for 1 year at a time. And that's quite interesting. But I think we might be able to learn something from that.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I represent Ilube College. You said earlier that you would like to take on students from the schools that we went to. As it happens, I went to a boys' school. So I'd like to let you know. The question is, why did you decide to set the school up for girls only?
Yes, it's a very good question. So before we established the school, we used to run summer schools. We ran science summer schools. We ran some of them in East Africa, some of them in West Africa. We had hundreds of students from about 50 schools across Africa go through. And we had boys and girls coming to them. And they performed equally well. The girls were brilliant, the boys were brilliant. We had some fantastic students. Probably the best, or one of the best students, was a 14-year-old girl from Nigeria who came to one of our academies. And one of the things we did is we would teach, they would all play chess, and we would bring along whoever was the chess grandmaster in that country, or the chess master in that country, to play against them. And in Uganda, we had a chess master called Harold Wanyama. He's still the East African chess champion. And we had 50 students there from about 10 different countries. And he said he's going to play them at chess. And he's going to play them at chess, all of them, at the same time. And that's what he did. We set out all 50 chessboards in a horseshoe. All of them sat behind their chessboard, and he played all 50 games at the same time. It was remarkable to see, incredible to see. I play a little bit of chess, and so with a few of the young people who didn't know how to play chess, I taught them the moves, I taught them how to play, and they were obviously easy to beat, and then the next day they'd come and find me, and then I just beat them again. And then on the 4th day they started beating me. And then on the 5th day they said, Mr. Tom, come and play. I said, I'm too busy. The duties that a chairman has, I'll be playing. So, now, one of the things we found is that when we tracked these students, and we're a science and technology summer schools, when we tracked these students to see where they were going next, we found that the boys were going on to university to do engineering, to do science, to do technical subjects. The girls, even though they had been passionate about physics and science and maths and so forth at these summer schools, tended to sort of veer away from that, and they just weren't following the engineering and technical path. And one of the things they would say is that they weren't encouraged to go in that direction. They didn't feel that it's what they should be doing, and that those that did, they would be in a class at university or whatever with maybe 200 or 300 students, 299 boys and 1 girl, and it just wasn't conducive to really get them to embrace technology and science and so forth. So I felt that these young women, massively talented, are missing out on the opportunity to really express themselves and unleash their skills. And therefore, when we set up the school, we said, right, we're going to make it an all-girls science and technology academy, and it's the first one in Africa, the first pure. They come and they do. I mean, this isn't this isn't play. They come and do maths, further maths, physics, A level, and they do computing, etc., and they do all of it in 12 months. These are serious young women, and that's why universities like Oxford universities, I've been asked to go and speak at Harvard about them and so forth. That's why universities around the world and in Africa are starting to look at these girls and say there's something quite special. Now, one of the things we need to do is, when we do initiatives, we have to accept that we can't solve everything. So we have to, as individuals, allow ourselves to say, right, this is the thing I'm going to work on. So I've decided the thing I'm going to work on is girls' science education in Africa. That's good. I'm hoping that it inspires someone else. For example, if I met someone who was passionate about it from Ilube College, I would say, why don't you set up a boys' science So you know, I'm sure that there will be people that take the idea and express it in different ways, because we need 20, 30, 50 of these sorts of schools around the continent, mixed boys, girls. It just so happens my one is a girls' school.
What a wonderful answer. Basically, start your own. So link up with him, find out, work on the strategy, and then start your own. Okay, thank you. And then we'll come to you.
Thank you. Can you please let us know what's been your biggest inspiration and also your biggest barrier in your aspirations, please? Thank you.
Sorry, we're going to take 2 questions at the same time, so we can make it quite fast.
Thank you. As you also said, the students, some of them applied to come to Oxford, and since you take on and support them from the scratch, how do you go about your school fees here? Do you sponsor them, or what happens?
The ones that might come here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take that one first, and then the other one. So we focus so resources are hard to get, and one of the challenges with starting anything like this is you talk to people and say, okay, we're going to create a girls' school, and they say that's wonderful. You say we're going to create a girls' school that's doing STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. They say that's great, and it's going to be in Africa. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Will you fund it? Oh, somebody else should fund it. So it's a challenge every time to get people to finance what we're doing. I don't really want my students to come to the UK or America. I don't mind if they get into an amazing university. You know, if you have a child that, you know, Oxford or Stanford or Harvard or whatever say we want that student, then I'm happy for them to go. But otherwise, really, I want them to go to the stronger universities in Africa, because otherwise we're going to lose them.
Yes.
They'll come here, they'll stay here, and 30 years later, yeah, exactly. So, you know, so that's a bit of a challenge. However, if they get into one of the top universities in the world, then I do want them to go to that university, because that's quite special, and there aren't that many. And in that situation, you can often find funding for that sort of student. You know, if I have an 18-year-old girl from a less privileged background who comes to our academy, gets admission to Oxford, there will be a foundation somewhere here in London or whatever that will take care of those fees. I'll have to hunt for it, I'll have to convince them, but I'll be able to do that. And it's easier to find funding for somebody to go to university here than it is to get that same person to give me the money for the school in Ghana. So that won't be too much of a problem if they get to the really premium universities. If I was getting them to a lesser university, then people might say, well, why don't they go to university in Nigeria or Ghana or wherever? But the premium universities, you can get the funding. To the inspiration and barrier point, I mean, barriers, my approach is really that I'm very good at failing. That's one of my specialisms. Nigerians, we don't talk about failing enough. You know, we need to be able to fail, because the way that you innovate is by failing. The way that you learn is by failing. A child tries to walk, falls down, stands up, falls down, stands up, falls down. So, you know, I learn by failure, and I'm very good at it. I'm very comfortable talking about it as well. You know, I used to, when I first came here and I started applying for jobs, I wanted to get into the computer industry, and in those days, you know, someone was saying to me, well, why didn't you use the internet? And I said, well, because it hadn't really been invented. If not, I would have used it. But and so there was a book called the Computer Users Yearbook that listed every company in the UK that had computers. Now, being Nigerian, I thought, oh, this is easy. I will just apply to every company in the UK that has. So there were thousands of companies in there. I applied to every company in the UK that began with A, every single one, and every single one said no. And I thought to myself, this is okay, because there's another 25 letters that I can work on. And then I started on the B's. I worked my way through B's, and I ended up working at British Airways. And now, when I go to and give talks and so forth, people say, why did you choose British Airways to start your career? Because they began with B. Well, people sometimes tell me now that they're, you know, I sometimes talk to young people and say, I'm applying for jobs, I finished university, and it's so frustrating, I've applied for 20 jobs, I've had 20 rejections. I say, 20 jobs? I'm just loosening up. 30, 50, we're starting. Once I get to 100, so I think, you know, barriers for me, there was a company I used to apply for, I wanted to work for, a management consultancy. After I did an MBA, I said I want to work for this management consultancy. So I applied to them, they rejected me. So for me, that's very much the beginning of a conversation. I know that the communication channels are now clear. So I applied again, they rejected. I applied again, rejected. On the fourth time, they sent me a letter saying, dear Mr. Ilube, please contact this, the Human Resources Director of HR for Europe. I said, you see, so I called her up. She said to me, Mr. Ilube, you don't have the right background, you don't have the right experience, so we will never offer you a job. So I waited 2 weeks and applied again. A few years later, I had set up one of my companies, a technology company. This was in the dot-com boom stage. And these strategy consultants, they wanted to get involved in funky new startup companies. This same consultancy came to meet me to say, could they work with my company? In my head, I was thinking, you don't have the right background. So barriers, to me, I don't really see them. I just, you know, I will get over. I will get over, I will get under, I will get round. Somehow that barrier is coming down. There is just nothing. You know, if I say that's what I'm going to do, that's what's going to happen. My inspiration really was my brother. I had an elder brother who's 3 years older than me, Jim, and he was always ahead of me. He was always achieving things that I wanted to achieve in an effortless way. I was a hustler, I worked. He seemed to just glide, and you know, he enjoyed his life as well. And I followed in his wake all the way until 4 years ago. 4 years ago, he got pancreatic cancer. And from being Jim, full of life, running things, floating around the world, you know, working in America, here, this, that, and the other. Within the space of 4 months, he went from first diagnosis to dying. And there was nothing I could do with my money, with my contacts, you know, the people I know, there was not a thing I could do to stop it from happening. And that crushed me completely. You know, I was out of the game probably for a year. I said to someone, this is like, life tastes like dust. You know, I just had no motivation. And I sort of worked through that, and I sort of was asking myself, what would Jim do? And he loved life. You know, if he wanted to do something, he would do it. You know, we both love rugby. You know, if the British Lions were on tour, I'd ring him up and I'd say, oh, the British Lions are playing South Africa. You know, are you watching it? Assuming that he would be watching it on TV, and he would say, yeah, I'm watching it. I'm in South Africa watching it. Because if there was something he wanted to do and he could afford it, he'd just do it. And so I was sort of thinking like that. I was saying, you know, if Jim was here, you know, okay, he'd be sad, but then he would go through and he would say, this is what I'm going to do. And it was really after that I decided, okay, I'm going to step it up. I'm going to do some things that stretch me so much, that are so exciting, that they're going to force me to achieve the sort of dreams that Jim would, you know, I mean, he would slap me around the head, but he would say, boy, you've done well. You know? So it was at that point that I decided, okay, I'm going to build this school. This school I've been talking about in Ghana, build a whole school from a blank sheet of paper. I'm going to do that. And you know, my family was saying, you're going to build a school in how? Where's the money going to come from? And I said, don't worry, I'm going to build it. Because that's what Jim would have expected. And the other thing I said at the time was that I did physics at university. I'm a physicist. I'm a failed physicist. I was not good enough to be a physicist, so I became an entrepreneur instead. And because I did physics, and I love physics, and I love that, I love space as well, and that's, you know, what's happening in space and so forth. And so I decided that I was going to buy myself a ticket on one of those spacecrafts. So I bought a ticket on the spacecraft, and at some stage when they're working, I'm going to go up, and hopefully I'm going to come down, all being well. And part of the reason, part of the inspiration, you're saying what inspired? Part of the inspiration for doing that was because Jim would have said, you want to go to space, you can afford it, they can do it, and go. So that is what I'm doing. So if you ask me who inspires me and what inspires me, my brother Jim.
Okay, so Jim's passed now, and it's so awesome because, you know, we're all here. We've heard some of the things that you talked about last night. So I think the right thing to do, say, you know, thank you to Jim. Can we just do a mini silence for Jim, your brother, please? Thank you. And may his soul continue to rest in peace.
Amen.
we're short of time. We're short of time. So what I'm going to do is this. We're going to take 2 more questions, but we have to have them together. So one, and it'd be a male and a female, sorry. Good luck. Where again? Okay, so there are 4 people who are 4 questions, yeah? So ask your questions all together, and then Mr. Ilube will answer them together.
Good evening, all. Just wanted to know why Ghana, not Nigeria.
Very briefly, what do you think is the most fundamental problem with the Nigerian educational system? Thank you.
So why Ghana, not Nigeria? Somebody said Nepal. And then, what's the problem with Nigerian education?
Sorry, if we have contact for them to contact you, or what would be your contact details, obviously, or is it the organization's details so that we can give to the schools back in Nigeria?
Thank you. And then the final one, okay. I thought you wanted to ask the question. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me start with the practical one. The contact details, maybe Wale.
Yeah.
So if you give him the details, he'll get in contact with me. That would be great. The problem with the Nigerian education system, I mean, I can't really say, but it may. Well, here, one of the challenges is with the quality of the teachers and investment in teaching as a profession. And I wonder whether there is investment in teaching as a profession in Nigeria at the level that it needs to be, and in particular in headship. My experience of being a governor and a chair of governors of multiple schools is that the same school with the same students, with the same teachers, with the same resources, if the head is great, it'll be an outstanding school. If the head isn't great, it'll be failing and in special measures. And there is a huge problem here in the UK with headship, and I suspect that problem is multiplied across Nigeria, and definitely I've seen it in other African countries as well. So I think that, we are always happy when there's money available to put the money into bricks and mortar, because then there's a brand new school and a minister can come and open the school, or a governor or someone. We're less likely to put the money into leadership training and headship training and in salaries at that level. So I suspect that maybe the problem, if I was looking to look at the problem, I would probably look at the quality of headship in particular. Why Ghana rather than Nigeria or anywhere else? That's a difficult one, really. We had a choice. We'd worked in multiple countries, and there was a strong pull to Nigeria. One of the things I felt, well, there were 2 things actually, and I can be quite honest here. I needed to get students from across Africa. My decision from the start was that this was going to be a pan-African school, because one of the things I'm really keen on is that young people from different African countries get to meet their peers from other countries. And it's just fascinating to hear them talk to each other. When the Botswanan children are talking to the Ugandans and the Nigerians arrive and then the Kenyans come and so forth, that's really powerful. And I think one of the challenges we have as a continent is that we don't operate as a continent of over 1 billion people. We operate as 52 countries. And China operates as a continent of 1 billion people. India operates as a country of 1 billion people. We don't do that, and I really want to see more of that networking and coming together. So it was really important to me that the school attracts young people from across the continent. The challenge with then putting it in Nigeria is that I feared that it would basically become a Nigerian school, because there are so many people, they would, a brilliant school like that, they would just fill up the school, and you might get 1 or 2 students from here or there from different countries, but it would be harder to make it a multicultural school in that sense. The other challenge was a question of, if I was going to a family, for example, one of our students comes from Uganda, and I had to convince the parents in Uganda to put their 16-year-old daughter on a plane to Ghana, saying I would be at the other end, or my team would be at the other end to meet her. That parent, I think, was willing to do it to Ghana. I don't know if they would have done it and said, just put your 16-year-old daughter on a plane and send her to Lagos. Don't worry, someone will collect her. You can be pretty sure someone will collect her, you just don't know. So really, that's where we ended up.
Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Ilube. I think there's a wealth of experience there. Just before you came, we said something, there's a statement about education is not just about knowledge, it's about taking action. This is a well-educated man. Let us give him a round of applause. It amazes you how someone has a vision of how to transform. I mean, one word that we've heard a lot about in Nigeria is change. That means nothing. Yeah? When someone has a vision and talks about putting the right team in place, it's not about the person, it's about creating the structure that enables you to deliver. I mean, if we're going to be honest with ourselves, you look across the whole of Nigeria, that is what is missing. There is no structure to anything. Everybody comes there, wants to spend their 4 years or 5 years, and it's about them. I think there was a court ruling, was it Kano State, where the court says actually the governor must stop putting his name on all the projects that he's done. Yeah, all the schools had his name, all the roads had his name, so every project he's done had his name on it. Lunacy. I mean, that is just madness. So I think this is a step change. Yeah, what we've heard there tonight hopefully would encourage us, even I think for the small groups that we're forming here, the organizations, I wish we could take a bit more of your time to talk about structures. I think that's what we need to learn, is how do you create structures? That's the question I would have asked you, okay? Is how do you create structures? You talked about leadership of organizations that last, thousands of years, and that the people who are the ends of affairs only stay there for a year. So therefore they know that it's about legacy. It's not about ownership, okay? So I would implore us, the Rogas and the Methodist girls and whatever, even in our leadership, let us acknowledge, let us try and put some of these things into practice. It's not about us, it's not about ownership. Perhaps what we've heard here tonight would enable the Rogas and the Eco Boys High School's station to last 500 years. That is possible. So we can't think about the next year. I think we need to think about the next 10 years, the next 20 years, the next 30, 40 years. I was talking to, was it? No, it wasn't Wale. One of my friends here. And I said, how about if we had our children begin to represent the schools of their parents here in the UK? You have to find a way of carrying on. Because if you don't do that, by the time the grey hair starts sort of falling off, that's it, it's dead. So we have to get them to get into the mood of, I'm coming with my parents, and my mom went to Reagan, and therefore I am Reagan inside myself as well. So you have to start bringing them to the meetings and getting them to participate, and so I say for the parents who brought their kids here tonight, well done. So thank you, Mr. Ilube. I think that was really awesome. Very quickly, we are going to go on to the next set of awards. Okay, so we have a few more awards. How many? 2, I think it is. Three more awards. Who's going to help us to stand a bit? Okay, please just tell them for me. Okay, winner 2016 Digital Intelligence Principals Cup, men. Of course, it wouldn't be Reagan. And it wouldn't be Methodist Girls High School. And the only question that came to my mind was the gentleman who said the school is for girls. Echo Boys High School. Please give them a round of applause. Who's collecting on their behalf? Echo Boys High School. Okay. Oh, yeah. Mr. Ilube, please. Round of applause. Mr. Ilube will present the award. Thank you. Where are the photographers? Okay.
Face the camera, my president.
Yes. Come forward.
All right. So,
why is it taking so long? Is it because it's a class?
we're just special, right? All right, everyone reach forward, please. Gentlemen. Reach.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay, and look at me. Thank you. Let's smile. It's a good moment.
Thank you. All right.
Lovely, thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Okay, we have.
Who founded Echo Boys High School? It was Reverend Ilube, principal of Westmoreland High School, working for many years. Methodist Westland Boys High School for 10 and 7 years. The principal of but faithful friend, Elijah's home man to fair. Reverend Ilube founded Echo High School. What a proud heritage he has left us all. Reverend Ilube.
Thank you very much. Just before they did that, I was going to say they were very orderly. And I still maintain that. We have the 2015 Principals Football Cup. No? Okay, all right. We have the Sep Ilube. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Cup 2016, 4x100 men, and the winner, Government College Ikorodu. I pray they are orderly. By their fruits you shall know them.
I think this is showing the hitbox of where my character can die.
Thank you, gentlemen. Okay, if anything hits the point, I can put it on my character.
Okay, so the reason why that award was actually very, very special. Page 15 on your brochures, you find the Sebastian Adeniro Olule Charitable Fund. This gentleman sadly passed away May 9th, 2016 at the age of 20. So it's in remembrance of him. I understand he was a son of one of the Igbobi Old Boys Association members. So we do commiserate with you. May his soul rest in peace. I think you have information there as to how you can support the foundation. So please, if you can, say it would be a good cause. Okay, NSF UK 2016 overall Winners' Cup. I don't think anybody won that one. I know, but that's why it's Government College Ikorodu. Now you can sing. Should we not do this? Okay, two more. These relate to the 2015 events. We have a plaque for 2015 Principals Football Club Men. Okay, and we also have the 2015 overall winners. Reagan Memorial Baptist Girls Secondary School. Even though the plaques are not here, they're going to use him as a plaque. He obviously looks bronze or silver, whatever color. But he's shiny. That's a key point. I didn't say take him home. That came from somebody else. Okay.
Did you want to take? Okay, there's the lady. We don't have a plaque, so yeah. Oh, we should get the cup. Carry the cup.
They have a pretend cup.
Last year. Yeah, raise it up. Champions. That's very slightly. Perfect. Thank you.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. We're just going to do one final thing before we take the vote of thanks. I'm going to ask Wale. Oh, we have that one as well, don't we? Okay, all right. Okay, so we have one final award actually, or something that needs to be done. Mr. Dele Dada, are you here? Okay, so after Mr. Dele Dada, then we would, I'll need Wale and then the chairman to. Thank you.
Very quickly, my name is Dele Dada. I am the PRO for the group. You saw one of the recipients being very surprised to receive that award. Expect another surprise. This organization could not have existed without one particular individual. This individual is not expecting this award because I would describe him as really publicity shy. He does his work in the background and he really does his work well. Please put your hands together for somebody I would call Mr. NSF. Please put your hands together for Mr. Wale Sawo.
Keep talking. I'm speechless. I thought we got Daniel there, but I didn't know other people were planning cool as well. Yeah? So all those times we were talking on the phone, you guys were behind the scenes, scheming. I mean, I haven't done this for the recognition, but I guess that sometimes you have to take the public recognition as well, so that I can inspire and recognize, help others as well. To step up and come on board. As I've always said, it's about giving back. You know, it's I won't be here as well without the support of my family. Actually, let me just mention them as well. My wife, Ayomide and Kaya. Because they're the ones that when I get the pressures, they feel it at home. Yes. Where's Koya? Yeah. They feel it at home and they support me. So without them, I won't be able to do what I've done. What I've actually gotten away with, because you know, I'm sure my wife will say that I'm not contributing enough at home, isn't it? Because my time is taken away. So you say, what is all this NSF stuff again? Not again. Is it only you? Only you I can't come. That is all I get at home. No, I'm just joking. She's been very supportive, and my kids as well. Anyway, thank you very much for the award. Very grateful.
Thank you, Mr. And actually, I think, obviously he didn't know he was going to get the award. I didn't know he was going to get the award, but I think the truth is actually because he was the one that got in touch with me, and I said to because of the person I came through, I had to consider it, and he kept at it. And even I think we had a conference call. I was out of the country, and then I thought he wasn't going to remember. But of course, my phone rang at 1 o'clock. I was like, oh God, this guy. So I had to make sure I was here. So I think another round of applause for Wale. Okay, so just before we round up, there was something that he mentioned. He talked about the next 5 years for NSF. I think that's really forward thinking. But I think he said that it wasn't going to be just about the leadership, as it were. There was going to be a collective thing. And I sort of tested him further during the stand-up sessions. And I said, perhaps the best thing to do is to use this opportunity while people are here to collectively gather the ideas they have. And perhaps there might be one or two of those ideas that you want to take forward. So I'm going to step down and get himself and the chair to come on board, to come on stage. And they will run this thing, I'll hold the mic. And if you have any ideas as to how this can go on to the next level, things that they need to consider, then please, this is your time. We really just have 15 minutes maximum. Then we have a vote of thanks, and then we close for the day. Thank you very much to everyone.
That stage was easy. I did that first time.
Hello. Hi. Hello. Hope we're still awake. It's been a fantastic evening. Been, thrilled and excited by everything that's happened this evening. I mean, it's been awesome, and I think you'll agree with me as well. And you've been a fantastic audience as well. I think we should give everybody a round of applause. Following on from what Jide mentioned, we're looking at sustainability. Tom also alluded to that in his speech. how do we move things forward for the next 500 years? Oh, let's take the first 100 years. At least we need to learn how to crawl before we walk and walk before we run, etc. So I open the floor to you. Anyone got any ideas?
Ideas, questions?
Okay.
Anything that you want to ask us?
Yeah. Anything that you feel can enhance what we're currently doing?
Thank you very much. I'm so much impressed with the quality of representation. I personally just want to say that one of the ways I think we can take this forward and maybe make it more long-lasting, just like the former speaker just said, is to create a very good structure, and the good structure comes with legal aspect that binds leadership and their responsibilities. And when there's a big structure that is in place that's legally binding, I think it's going to stand the test of time, no doubt.
Thank you. So corporate structure. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? No, they're doing selfie. That's another idea. Another idea is do more selfies. Because that goes on Facebook.
I know that earlier in the evening you talked about moving to the charitable status, which I think is essential so that you can tap into corporate donations on a higher level. That will enable you also to get the gift aid with an increase of 20%. So if you're moving into the charitable status, looking at who your key people will be as trustees, etc., will be one thing. But one of the other things that I would say is, again, looking at our influence in Nigeria and making it more powerful by making, or I would suggest, possibly having more of a voice that leads to a level of scrutiny, in any such word, but scrutiny of the schools that we are involved with, so that they know that there's this external eye looking on them, looking at their standards, helping them. So how that could be structured, each school has their own liaison with their old school, yes, but also if the NSF could be that third eye, as it were, that says, okay, talk about, let's see how they've done their budget, let's see what their plans are there plans, etc. Just so that the questions can be asked from the alumni body that's here. Because it is the fact that there is not that scrutiny coming from state or federal level that our schools are in the way that they are. So being confident, bold enough, and yes, confident enough to actually be that third eye and maybe putting the parameters in place to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yeah.
Good evening. Yes, congratulations again and well done to all the organisers. Two suggestions that I have have been mentioned in the room already, but one thing that I know really works well is the twinning. Having partner schools in other countries works very well. And if this is going to be something over and above the individuals who set this up or who are working on these programs at the moment, partnering with other schools legacy will continue, because the schools in this country or in other countries will have an equal pride in wanting it to continue. So it will go on in perpetuity. And the other idea is there are certain programs that you can do where it's similar to, maybe it's the same thing, but it's really making sure that it's bigger than you. Look for mental, I think, was it, and what was that other school? Not Anwaruddin, but whatever that school was. School. I like that idea very much of getting people who didn't go to the school from different, getting honorary members. I think every alumni in this room should go away and get at least 5 honorary members to join your associations, and you just build it on from there. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I think we need to involve the young ones as well.
we need to involve our children, and we need to find out from them how we can get them involved. Because I, for one, my children, I mean, I admire Wally, the way he has involved his children. But my children tell me sometimes that, oh, they're bored. So I've tried to get them on board and find out from them what will tickle their fancy, so that they can, you know, take it to the next level as well. And as Mr. Ilube said, we need to seed in further years, not just now, and how our children can get involved. And when they see our passion, that's what drives them to come. But then what's in it, it's not what's in it for them, but we need to leave a legacy for them as well. And then we need to involve the young ones who are in the schools right now to make them understand that when they come to a place like this, they will have support. You know, we can help to support the younger ones coming out from the schools or whatever. So we need to find out how we can tickle the fancy of the next generation.
Thank you. Okay, just wait. Oh, hold on, I think this...
Lots of fantastic ideas.
Okay.
Good evening all. My suggestion would be something like minimum standards for our school in terms of expectations. I think someone talked very briefly about that. But here we have the Ofsted, and there are minimum expectations on the schools here, in which schools have to at least attain those. And obviously there are grades to that, so you have schools that sometimes are in special measures, and you have outstanding schools. But also here you have outstanding schools that are paired up with those schools that are not doing too well. So I think if we are looking at something collectively for us to do as an organization, that could be something that we could look at. How in Nigeria, what are minimum standards? Are there minimum standards? And if they are, perhaps we need to question what those minimum standards are and introduce perhaps new standards or have a review of those minimum standards.
Thank you. Okay, sorry, only because she's on this side, but let me finish on there and then
Hello, good evening all. My name is Tokwe, never a holy child. I think we need to bring more schools on board. 5 years, we've got 23 schools. 32. I mean, when you consider the whole of Nigeria, there's much more schools. So I think we need to spread the word, get more schools on board, and then we become sustainable. And that could then send messages back home.
Thank you very much. That's it. Okay.
Hello, I'm Josh. I'm the nephew of this big man here in the bow tie. And I think I'll start my remarks by saying I'm probably the worst half Nigerian you'll ever meet. A gentleman over there asked me to pronounce my surname earlier. He just laughed at me.
What's your surname?
I'm not going to tell you. Actually, privately. So I hope that doesn't kind of dilute my remarks. So maybe I'll have to go down as an honorary Nigerian rather than a real one. But I'm 23 and I run like a social enterprise startup. And something I've been thinking a lot about in my work is creating a sustainable business model. And this could come in useful for you guys. Even though you might want to move towards charitable status, having a business model that involves revenue generation could be really, really valuable. And so as well as trying to source funding through donations and through grant funding, there are lots of services that I think you might be able to sell to various clients to generate that trading income. So I know you mentioned earlier that in some of the work that you do, whether it's abroad or in the UK, you create a kind of immeasurable force, this community cohesion that local authorities will probably pay for, and there's a way of selling that. But also, you've got a fantastic team that's brought everyone in this room together that you could definitely sell as some kind of consulting service. So I really think that diversifying your business model and generating trading income in that way could help to make the organisation more sustainable.
I don't want to blow his trumpet there. Josh has recently been nominated by Huffington Post as one of the 10 youths in the UK that are changing the world.
I think think those are the questions. Those are the suggestions. So, do you guys have anything you want to say to that? Has anyone else got? Mr. Ilube, do you have any suggestions for them? Okay, no. Do you just want to take them and?
Yeah, I think they're fantastic suggestions. There's some of them that we have already started thinking about already. So take for example the charity, registering as a charity, involving our youth. We've been trying very hard to make that happen. As you said, it's a bit challenging, unlike Nigeria where you can tell your young ones to do something and go. You can't do that here. There are laws.
Child line.
There's something called child line. But we do try. Things about trying to encourage more schools to kind of like join us. Again, we're quite keen that about 2,000.
Please, we just
keep it down, please.
2,000 schools alone in Nigeria, and we've been trying very hard with design strategy to try and reach 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria.
Please, can we? Sorry, we need to stay together, please. Sorry, let's stay together.
Can we keep it?
We've only got about 10-15 minutes, and we're done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we're still struggling at the moment. Most of the schools are predominantly southwest based. In fact, Tom doesn't know it yet, but one of our strategies, the reason why we are trying to work hard is some of the other areas that have been named on like the Edo College and so on, to kind of like bring them on board. So that's a strategy. What else? I mean, the
legal structure.
The legal structure, we covered that. The twinning. Again, one of our members, Akausa, is actually doing that. We are hoping that we'll be able to replicate that model elsewhere, that we'll be able to roll that out. Josh, there are fantastic ideas in terms of the trading side of things that we can look at. I think the problem for us is always resources. There's so many ideas. The issue is how do you drive them? So we'll continue to try and do as much as we can. I mean, we'd like to be here 5 years from now, 100 years from now, 500 years from now, amen. But yeah, I don't know if Bimbo has...
No, I think you've eloquently covered everything. Most of what has been mentioned is being looked at at the moment anyway, especially the charitable status thing. And trying to throw open our doors to everybody else in Nigeria and in terms of schools. Because some people view us as elitist, like the posh Lagos schools and the Southwest schools. How come we don't have any people from the east or southeast? No schools from Calabar. Well, budding Calabar. Yeah, so I think you've covered it.
Okay. Yep. Thank you very much. A round of applause for them. Okay, thank you very much. I was going to say a Saturday night, but it's a Friday night. It's been that long. A Friday night, you spend amazing, almost 4 hours together. We've learned a lot. I think that, if anything at all, one of the things that we are taking away from here is that giving of ourselves and our money to build the institutions of our dreams, even the sort of institutions that we didn't get the opportunity to attend, is the way forward. And we have to make it sustainable. We have to build the quality, we have to build the people and the infrastructure and the actual infrastructure itself. So I think we should say a big thank you to Mr. Ilube again. Just give him a round of applause for being our guest speaker for tonight. No, wait. He wants to introduce Mrs. Ilube. You don't just do that. The man himself gets her on the side and you just want to... There's a reason now, Abi. There's a behind every powerful man. So, It is not for me to thank her. That's why I haven't mentioned her. It is for the next person I'm going to introduce, who is the secretary of the NSF. Where is he? Bumi. Oh, she, sorry. I apologize. Let me say that. Okay, so please, let's give her a round of applause as she comes to the both of us.
On behalf of Nigerian Schools Foundation UK, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to all our guests for gracing our event and celebrating this important milestone, our 5th year anniversary celebration. Coming together was easy. Staying together, in our opinion, is worth celebrating. We thank everyone. We're also grateful to our speaker, Mr. Tom Ilube and his wife, for sharing with us their words of encouragement. Maintaining high standards of education with limited resources in a country like Nigeria can be challenging. So much to do, and every little helps. As seen by some of the project stories shared by some of our members, we remain resolute in our commitment to do what we can to ease this burden. We're very grateful to our speakers. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to our main corporate sponsor for 2016, Microsystems International. Our other sponsors, the NSF team, and our behind-the-scenes supporters. I cannot thank everyone enough for your involvement. Without your goodwill and support, our events would have remained simply a dream. We're grateful for all your support. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Obviously, we need to mention, say thanks to Diana Abbott as well, because she did send something. And then a wonderful round of applause for the woman who has allowed the man to come here tonight, Mrs. Ilube. Thank you very much. I said the woman who has allowed the man, because the man knows he can't be here without the woman saying it. So thank you so much for releasing him. And thank you to everybody here who has taken their time out to be here. And I think we should all give ourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much. And I think we've had a wonderful evening, so therefore, God bless you.
Não,